And they're off in the Royal North Stakes. A sluggish start for Legs Galore, the first-time starter.
We begin our 33 stakes and handicap journey on March 28th at Beulah Park with the Royal North for 3-year-old fillies. Slide's Choice, voted the state's outstanding freshman filly in 2008, picked right up where she left off, running down a stubborn Yankee cruise in the shadow of the wire.
And Slide's Choice, able to strike the front late to get the win in the Royal North Stakes. And they're off in the Howard B. Noonan Stakes, a clean start. Brother Terry barreling out for the lead.
One stake in March and just one in April. The Howard Noonan, like the Royal North, was run at Beulah. It was for 3-year-old sophomore colts and geldings. Brother Terry, barreling to the front at the break, went wire to wire, holding safe the favored Running for Spite.
Brother Terry and Running for Spite first and second, and it will be Brother Terry victorious in the Howard B. Noonan Stakes.
And they're off in the 17th running of the Angenora Stakes.
May, Roses in Kentucky, Black-Eyed Susans in Maryland, and the return of the Ohio Horse of the Year. Thistledown hosted its first stakes race of the season on May 2nd. The 6-furlong Angenora, named for Ohio's champion filly of the early 1970s, kicked off the North Randall Oval's added money lineup. Pay the Man, a champion filly and mare, loves the Angenora, so much so that she captured it for an unprecedented third time.
And it's Pay the Man who has them here to win her third straight Angenora, never being beat by a filly or mare on this oval. Pay the Man is victorious.
And they're off. Jarring himself at the start, Alzerat lost a couple lengths. Perfectly played.
A half an hour later, on the final program of the Beulah Park Spring Meeting, 2008 Ohio Horse of the Year Cat Launch made his 2009 stakes debut. It came in the Baps Memorial Handicap, and Cat Launch ran well, just not well enough. At the line, Ohio had a new stakes star, the veteran gelding Left on Base.
Royal Nemesis, left on base, determined on the outside, and Left on Base will be in a close photo finish with Royal Nemesis.
And they're off in the Tomboy Stakes. Excellent beginning for the two big shots, High Fin and Slide's Choice, away the best.
The first Ohio Fun Stake race of the year at River Downs was the May 16th Tomboy for 3-year-old fillies. Originally scheduled for the turf, rains forced it to the main track, which was sloppy. It mattered little to Slide's Choice. She easily splashed home to her second stakes success of the season.
Slide's Choice still there. Lipstick and Lace is valiantly trying, but she can't go with her. Last year's 2-year-old champion is back as a 3-year-old. It's Slide's Choice has the public favorite to win by 2.
And they're off in the 4th running of the Dr. T.F. Classen Memorial Stakes. And traveling out there looking for the lead at Sybil's Angel.
Perhaps it was in the cards when Money Cards scored the easiest of victories in the May 23rd Ted Classen Memorial at Thistledown. It gave her back-to-back scores in a race that honors the late president of the OTBO, as well as 9 victories in 20 starts over the North Randall Oval.
Oh, and it's Money Card taking all the money in the Classen Memorial. Back-to-back wins for Money Card.
And they're off in the 2009 Green Carpet Stakes.
Both Thistledown and River Downs had stakes action on May 30th. Fans at the Cincinnati track watched and wagered on the Green Carpet Stakes. Halmy, who never set foot on the turf until working a half mile at River Downs 11 days before the Green Carpet, may have found his best footing.
In between horses, Raise the Reward. They come past the 8th pole. It's Halmy and Tolentino driving to the lead. Hurley's Way is back to second. Raise the Reward alters course third on the outside. It's Bold Captain with a 16th to go. Halmy just in front. It's Halmy and Pablo Tolentino to win the Horizon a half a length.
And they're off in the 6th running of the Michael Rowland Memorial Handicap.
Meanwhile, at Thistledown, veteran trainer Don Rowe became the most feared horseman in the state. For the second time in May, he knocked off defending Ohio Horse of the Year Cat Launch, and with different horses. Rowe, who beat the champ at Beulah with left on base, sent out Brother Terry to rally past Cat Launch in the Michael Rowland Memorial.
Brother Terry trying to take them all. Cat Launch tries to come from between them. It's Brother Terry who's getting up to take it here.
And they're off in the 2009 Sidney Gendelman Memorial Handicap. And Cat Launch breaks very well and will reach out for the early lead.
Just 3 stakes races in June, 2 at River Downs and 1 at Thistledown. And if ever a horse was determined to shake free from a losing streak with an exclamation point, it was Cat Launch. He just didn't win the June 13th off the turf Gendelman Memorial. He crushed it, drawing off by 15 1/4 lengths. The victory ended a 3-race losing streak, the longest for Cat Launch since the winter of 2006 when he lost 4 in a row.
The champion is back! Ohio Superman! Cat Launch is super in the Gendelman! Cat Launch is running them off their feet! Cat Launch is 12 lengths in front! He's back better than ever! Cat Launch and Rosario easily in the Gendelman.
And they're off in the 7th running of the J. William Petro Memorial Handicap. And it's Pay the Man who gets the first call. She'll lead them by
a week later, Thistledown hosted the Bill Petro Memorial, and Pay the Man was again queen for a day. The 5-year-old mare turned in her patented professional effort, escorted to the wire by stablemate Pyrite Gem. The victory was her 9th in as many tries at Thistledown against fillies and mares.
It's Pay the Man at the 16th pole. She's looking for back-to-back victories, and she's Ohio's Superwoman. It is Pay the Man who wraps them up in their 2nd Pyrite Gem, Slide's Choice 3rd.
And they're off in the Cincinnatian. It's a good start for Lipstick and Lace. She breaks right on cue from the hedge and goes right to the early lead.
The final Ohio Fun Stake race in June was River Downs' Cincinnatian for sophomore runners. Gathering Dreams, a Joe Weir homebred, had never tried the turf before shipping to the Ohio River track. Following her romping triumph, more lawn figures to be in her future.
And Gathering Dreams has got the lead. It's Gathering Dreams and Christian Polaris going on to score in the Cincinnatian by 3.5.
And they're off in the 42nd running of the Cleveland Gold Cup. And out there along the inside, Rush to Dinner rushes out to the lead.
5 stakes would go to the post in July, including the debut of the juveniles. But first up was one of the Ohio Fun's richest races, the 4th of July renewal of the Cleveland Gold Cup. Hurley's Way, a colt who ran 7 times in California before shipping to River Downs for his near-miss performance in the green carpet, was game in the Gold Cup. Racing on dirt for the first time in his career, he ran down Gordon, then held safe a late-charging Bold Captain.
Bold Captain, Hurley's Way, and Gordon inseparable at the 16th pole as they come to the wire. Hurley's Way, Bold Captain, a photo for win. And they're off in the 30th running of the George Lewis Memorial Stakes. And heading out there from between horses is Pyrite Personal up on the outside. Cat Launch. And Cat Launch wants early control. He leads them by Old Glory for the first time. Acts like a king.
Next up was the July 11th renewal of Thistledown's George Lewis Memorial. It brought out 4 Ohio champions, including defending champion Cat Launch. Was the Gendelman romp proof that he was back, or just the last hurrah by an 8-year-old gelding? Watch and tell me what you think.
Rallying on the far outside is Cold Trial. Cat Launch almost home. Cold Trial closing, but Cat Launch will take the George Lewis Memorial Stakes.
And they're off in the Hoover Stakes. It was a great start for Infatuation, who moves right to the early lead.
The following afternoon saw River Downs serve up the first stakes race of the year for Ohio-bred juveniles. It was the 5.5 furlong Hoover. Drummond Island, a distant second to Infatuation in his career debut, so much so the Daily Racing Form footnote said he was, quote, no match for the winner. The two met again in the Hoover. This time, the tables were turned.
Drummond Island collars the leader. Infatuation's not done yet on the inside. It's Drummond Island Infatuation trying to come back, but the Hoover to Drummond Island